Greetings, welcome to Tifa's Tarot, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And we're going to go ahead and continue the next episode or next chapter of the Tarot School. And today we're looking at card number 15, which is the Devil. Dun, 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 dun. So I have 4 Devil cards that have been pulled from 4 different decks. We're going to take a look at the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, so we'll look at that. Which is this one. And then we have a few more. We've got this card right here. This is the Devil from the New Era Elements Tarot. So I'll be showing some pictures from that. We've got the Devil also in the Light Seers Tarot, which looks like that. And then we have the Devil displayed in one of my favorite decks, the Urban Tarot. And this is the depiction of the Devil in this card, okay? So the Devil is card number 15. 15 in numerologically narrows down to the number 6, right? Because it's 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. 6 is actually a very harmonious number, okay? 6 shows that things are somewhat in a balanced state, okay? But let's talk a little bit about what the Devil really represents. The Devil really represents earthly desires, right? It's like your animal instincts or animal pleasures, right? In that sense. It represents, there's mystery to it, right? There's also a very aggressive spell to it. It's a little, it's passive aggressive and diplomatic by nature, but there's a manipulation aspect, right, when it comes to the Devil. The devil could be this triumph of materialism over the spiritual world, right? It's only looking at the tactical. It's about feeding the illusion, feeding the ego, right? It's about going with the free will and less of esoteric, right? It's about being enslaved to something. It's about bondage, right? Could also signify addictions of some sort, addictions to substances, addictions to materialism, okay? So when we have this, it is talking about really materialism, is talking about temptations that we have in our earthly desires, okay? So as you can see here, we've got the Devil, but let's look first at the Rider-Waite. Okay, we're gonna look at some of the symbols here. We can see first of all that the Devil is seated on a throne. Okay, this is the opposite card of the Lovers. Okay, so this is the other side of the Lovers, where this represents balance, duality, and harmony. This is the overwill of that. Okay. As you can see, the Devil, the hand gesture that he's making, right? This is like, I believe, like a blessing, right, to Satan or Kohanim, right? And you see the people who are standing really to ask for his blessings, but they are chained, right? They're chained with the desire, right? They've utilized the color black in this, or in their dark colors, kind of displayed in all of these Devil cards, right? And it's almost to signify the dark side, right? It's about things being just not in harmony, right? It's about overturning the proper order of things and doing the absolute opposite of what is good. So what is good, right? So it's about overturning that into evil. You can see that the horns, right, if anybody knows this, but the Devil horns are really used to signify like piercing through the goodness of heaven, right? And we should say the figure in itself, right? You can see he's like half man, half beast to some degree. He's got like these like claws, right? They kind of show power. And he's got this inverted torch in his hand, right? You can see this torch that's going down, okay? So that inverted torch is used as a symbol to kind of extinguish anything that is live and well, right? It's also used to show a light, maybe, right, towards the desires of people. We can see that there are a nude couple, right, a male and a female figure here. And those are the same people that we saw on the Lovers card, but this time they have gone outside. This is like the Garden of Eden, right, when they're here. And then when the Devil comes, right, it's after they have turned to their earthly desires and succumbed to the lustful instincts, right, of their humanity, is when they get turned over to the Devil, right? So it's about having that inner, these both things are the same, right? The Lovers and the Devil are very, very similar, right? Um, while one is about duality, this is about, can be about excess as well, okay? So as you can see with this, just like in an addiction, a lot of people feel like they're chained to these things. You're chained to your earthly desires, chained to your lustful thoughts, chained to your over materialism, okay? And believe in this, they are chained by choice. This is like they're doing, this is what they want to do. Astrologically speaking, the devil is associated with the sign of Capricorn, okay? And if we know anything about Capricorn energy, it's a very earthly energy. It's very hard-working, resilient energy as well. Very ambitious as well. Capricorn energy is also known for being very stubborn, very unforgiving. Can sometimes be thought of as a little bit condescending as well, okay? And it is exalted in the planet of Mars. So Mars energy is very aggressive in nature, okay? So this signifies very much what this devil card is about, okay? Let's see. If this is talking about a person, right, and this comes out, this represents someone who is maybe very materialistic, they're very greedy, they're very blinded just by the earthly world, okay? They might lack any spiritualism. They just feel very bound by like just the tracks that they can physically see on earth, right? They don't think, they have desires and they don't think about them. They maybe put the blame on other circumstances, but don't actually think about how they are guilty. They don't really understand what it's like to be free outside of material. It's like, it could also mean that a person like this is also very dependent on other people. They could be also very unhappy because they are incapable of analyzing a situation to get out of it because they feel very chained, right? Like these figures here. It could also signify someone who is very controlling, very manipulative, very demanding, right? Someone who does not care about other people, narcissist, so to speak, right? That they are only interested in their own pleasures and their own gains at anyone's expense, okay? So it also really just shows like this person could have a very overpowering dark personality where they are ruled by a lot of the like temptations that are in their life, okay? This card comes up in a general reading, okay? Let's take a look for the Starseers. When you see this in a general reading, it just means that you could be giving too much of yourself to people. It could mean that you are being too materialistic, that you have impulsive desires on a sexual nature, that you are relying on. It could mean that you have a reliance also on drugs, or you have some type of addiction that you're battling with, okay, that's throwing your life out of order. But if this is used to talk about a person in your life, it could mean that there is a person who is having control of your life, where they're being extremely dominating, okay? And there has something to do with control and manipulation when you get a card that's like this, okay? Another thing, let's say, if this comes out in general, right, and we're talking about the devil could also be used to, let's say, in general, just discuss, let me see. Yeah, let's talk about the reversal, I suppose, right? So when we get the devil in a reverse position, it means the opposite of that. It means that there is independence, right? You're not controlled anymore, that there's some type of attachment. Maybe it could also mean that once you were overcome by your desires, now you're kind of overcoming those things and you're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like reclaiming your power, reasserting like control over your own life, okay? It's like maybe you were previously being trapped by this dark side and you're no longer participating in that, right? And you just want to be free of any conflicts or issues that you have going your way, and that the changes that you're making haven't really been easy, but they've been really important for you to make in order for you to live a happier future, right? And that you've kind of realized this, that you've come to grips with this, okay? It could also mean that you've just narrowly missed a very terrible situation as well, right? When that's in reverse. So let's talk about the devil when it comes to love. When the devil comes up in love, you could be dealing with an extremely toxic person, right? Or you could be exhibiting no signs of toxicity in a relationship. A devil could, in a relationship, it could also mean that like both parties or someone in the party feels very trapped in this relationship. Maybe there's something that one person is hovering over the other person's head, right? And there's someone in the relationship that feels like they no longer really have control over their destiny anymore, okay? This could also mean that like someone in the relationship is maybe suffering from some mental trauma, mental health issues could be apparent with that. And if it is, make sure that you have this discussion that maybe there's professional help that needs to be looked at. It could also signify that someone in a relationship, there's very toxic ways. There could be third parties, could be cheating involved. Just jealousy, controlling, manipulative behavior. It's a terrible card to have in a love reading, okay? Let's say if you could be right with this person, okay? Look at this man, right? He could be very charming and seem like he has a lot on the outside, but maybe there's something that you don't know about this person that's very toxic and evil, okay? If this comes out and you're talking about being single, it could really show that there's a lot of promiscuity. Maybe there's a lot of sex happening, but without any relationship, or there's no love that's taking place, okay? So be aware of that. If you're in a relationship, if you're seeking this and this card comes up, it could also mean that there's a person that is coming towards you that might not be of any good to you, and that they could cause you harm to some degree. So be very careful with that as well. Or this could indicate that somebody in your love life is coming towards you, could have some addictive behaviors as well, right? So when this comes out, really try to get to the bottom of it, and really, to your best intents and purposes, do not allow someone like this into your life. Now, if it's in a reverse position and we're talking about love, it could mean that perhaps you and your partner feeling like that you are really stuck in this relationship, that you're not seeing a way out of it. It could show that someone almost did something where it could have been like there was almost an infidelity or some type of affair. But instead of going that route, they decided to avoid it. So it's like a near miss, so to speak, okay? This could also mean that if you have an abusive partner, right, maybe this person is starting to recover, right, and it's time for you to maybe there are other choices out there, right, for you as well. So maybe you have a near miss with an abusive partner, someone who's going to be a negative influence on you. If you are single and this comes out, the same thing could be true, right? That you're missed someone who has some type of toxic, addictive personality, okay? Or maybe a sex addict, I think of when I see this. It could also be something, it's a signal for you to kind of take a step back and start thinking about who you're attracting, and being like, I guess just coming up with like what you feel the right partner is for you, okay? Let's say if we're talking about money and finances. So here's the one from the New Elements Tarot. If it's in the upright, right, and we're talking about our career, okay? This could mean that you feel very trapped at your job. You don't want to be there. You're feeling like whatever, you need this job and you don't want it, right? You're not excited about it. It's a very strong indication that it's time for you to really start evaluating what you want out of your career and to make a move to do it, because this is really going to be affecting you negatively if you continue to stay at this job. This could also indicate that there's someone in your workforce that is a very toxic person and is causing basically just like bad juju, right, amongst you. And you are just feeling like they're trying to sabotage you. There's a lot of like clashing or deceptive energy, right? And that you need to just be careful around this person. If we're talking about in a financial situation, it could really indicate that money is not flowing like it used to, right? And there could be something that you could do to really help yourself, so that you need to look at your spending, because it's probably out of control due to bad habits that you're making. So when this comes out, are you being risky with your money? Are you gambling? Are you spending on excess and frivolous things? Emotional spending, right? So be very careful when you get the double when you're asking about your finances. Now, same thing if it's in the reversal position, okay? If you're talking about your career, it could be talking about maybe it's like maybe you were feeling like you were stuck right at your job because you had like some financial obligations or some material goals, but it shows that maybe at this point in time you are really starting to just refocus your life and being more fulfilled, right? And you're establishing a healthier work-life balance, okay? Also, financially, when this comes out on reverse, it could mean that you are about to fall back into bad habits. So if you've had bad habits before that you have been trying to heal, this could be indication that it's time for you to start regaining control over yourself and not fall back into negative habits when it comes to spending or your money or investments, okay? And finally, if this comes up in a spiritual way, right? It could mean that your spirituality is very blocked, right? That you're just focusing on materialistic concepts right now, and that you need to shift your mind from being too material and too tangible, and to really trying to honor yourself and your spirit, right? And to do more inner work. It also could mean that you've gone through a very dark time, or you're going through a very dark time, where you could be feeling very traumatized, you could be feeling depressed, you could be having a lot of anxiety, okay? So take note of that, and make sure that you do your research to do things to help to get yourself out of depression, whether that is talking to a person or going to a doctor of some sort, but try to seek some help for that, right, when double comes out in that. Now, if it's reversed and it comes out in a spiritual concept, it could mean that you have just maybe managed to avoid a very harmful situation spiritually, okay? So maybe you were connecting to someone, maybe you're a spiritual guidance of some sort that was not good for you. It could also mean that you're getting out of a period of depression where you're just feeling like you've lost a part of yourself, lost some of your spiritual connection, right? And that you're finally getting out of this dark phase in life, okay? So this was kind of long, but that is the devil, right? So that's our devil card, the number 15 card in the tarot. I hope this was helpful for anyone. And if you'd like to receive a reading from me, please do feel free to look into the About section of this channel to book a reading. And I hope this was helpful for anyone. And have a great day. Bye.